Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. So about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, my goodness, man, I want to talk about something I saw last night while I was watching the old TNT crew on ESPN now, right? Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson. I was watching the crew, you know, guys, they're on ESPN now, right? They moved to ESPN. I was watching them last night. It was the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, right? And before the game tipped off, I think it was before the game tipped off, I was watching this. They were talking about Jaylen Brown, right? And they had a little thing there with Jaylen Brown, and they were clowning Jaylen Brown. Like, I don't know if it was like, you know, a Shaq and a Fool type of deal. Like, it was one of those kinds of segments where they had like a top 5 something. I think Jaylen Brown was like #1. And they were showing video of Jaylen Brown, and this guy paints his hair on. Did you guys know that? And they showed video, actual video footage of live NBA games with Jaylen Brown rubbing his hair off on people's uniforms. And you saw all that like polish or whatever spray these guys put in their hair on these guys' uniforms. They were showing these highlights of Jaylen Brown, you know, getting a rebound, and, you know, his head rubs into somebody, and they have all this black stuff on their uniform after that. Weird stuff from Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a weird dude, man. These NBA players are weird. And in this segment, they showed Jaylen Brown calling LeBron James on the phone. He didn't get a hold of LeBron James, but he was calling LeBron James, left a message for LeBron James about what he can do about his hair. This is weird stuff, guys. I'm telling you, these NBA players, they're not basketball players, guys. They're not basketball players. I'm telling you, man. These guys are reality stars. They're weird dudes who happen to play basketball. We're going to talk about briefly in this video, man, because it's absolutely hilarious to me. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, you know, I am truly humbled, man. Much respect to everybody out there. Shout out to everybody in the membership, man. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes, man. And let's roll. Well, I guess this video is not for educational purposes. There's no education here. This is just funny to me. I was baffled. I was completely blown away that this was a segment last night on, like I said, the old TNT crew on ESPN. I was blown away. Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson. All of those guys are bald. Every single one of them are bald. I'm bald. I don't have any hair. You know, I can grow hair, but it comes in bad, right? It's just, it's thin, right? It's not like that. I started going bald when I was probably like 35, 37, somewhere around there. I'm 45 now. Used to have long hair, man, right? Used to have a fro, and, you know, I'd be able to do different hairstyles. So we understand that going bald is part of life sometimes for some of us, right? Some of us are lucky to keep our hair. Some of us are not as lucky. I told you, I got 3 brothers. There's 4 of us in my family. 2 of us are bald, and 2 of my other brothers ever kept their hair so far. I told you my father started going bald when he was probably in his 40s. So it's the whole bald thing I get, right? We know that this has been a funny thing in society for years now. You know, I think about George Costanza on Seinfeld, right? I've mentioned George Costanza on this channel several times, and he's a very funny character to me. And when you talk about the baldness, that's a big thing for George Costanza in the show Seinfeld, right? He often brings up his baldness. He often uses as a crutch, right? As something that's a burden on him. You know, he can't get women, and, you know, talking to women is hard because he's bald-headed, and, you know, he can't hold on to a job, and, you know, he's short, right? And he wears glasses, and he's pudgy. So he's like a stereotype George Costanza, right? And he's always bringing up his baldness, right? And it's a funny part of the show, right? He has that time or that scene or the episode where he tries to order this stuff from like China or something like that, right? And it's supposed to, you put this stuff in your head, and it's supposed to help your hair grow back. And we know about all these gimmicks. You've seen the commercials, right? The Rogaine, the hair club for men over the years. You guys remember that was big time. Now you got these Keeps. Oh, I've seen commercials for a lot of these pills and powders and this and that. Oh, get your hair back. And I get it. I get it. Some of us go bald young. I knew kids when I was in high school that were going bald. 17, 18 years old, they're going bald. People bald at 20. So I get that, man, right? It is, right? Your confidence is different. You feel you can't talk to women, right? You feel like people are making fun of you. So I get all that, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, I'm 100% on board with the baldness and, you know, what it could do to you mentally and, you know, your confidence and this and that. But that being said, this is getting ridiculous now in society, that we're so wrapped up in our hair. I told you guys, people are more concerned with their hair than their health. I mean, it's weird. People will spend thousands of dollars on hair transplants. I used to work with a guy in the jail that got a hair transplant surgery, all right? And you didn't really know, you couldn't tell, but the man spent over 10 grand on this. $10,000 on your hair? Come on, man. They would never dare spend that much money on their health. They wouldn't dare spend that much time and effort reading food labels, exercising, making a smart nutritional choice. People don't give a damn about this stuff. I told you, people are more concerned about vanity in the world. This is where we're at. Jaylen Brown, you're concerned about your hair so much that you're spray painting hair on your head? Dude, you're a professional athlete. It's embarrassing. And like I said, when I'm watching this video last night, they're showing a video of his hair rubbing off on people's jerseys and uniforms. What? I never remember that happening in the 80s or the 90s, the 2000s. I remember some years back, I don't know, it was 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. Remember Carlos Boozer, that weirdo? He had the spray painted hair on and it started running down his face at the free throw line. Who does this stuff? It's like the people out here in the world taking diabetic medication to lose weight. What the hell's wrong with you fools? You're listening to the Kardashians? Who are you listening to? It doesn't add up. That's not going to help you guys. Just because you quote unquote lost weight doesn't make you healthy. Just because you lost weight doesn't mean you're doing something good. That doesn't mean a damn thing, guys. My goodness, people don't understand it. We're more concerned about our tattoos. We're more concerned about our cars. We're more concerned about money. We're more concerned about hair than our freaking health. This is America, guys. I'm talking about America. We are jacked up in this country. We look like hell in this country. We are hell in this country. I see it every year. I told you, every year I go to the beach, man, we look like crap. Every year we get worse and worse. Kids look worse and worse. I work in a school, man. It's a hot mess. Parents don't even give a damn anymore about their kids. They don't give a damn. They take their kids to get Dunkin' Donuts in junior high before they go to school. They're drinking these sugary drinks and donuts before they go to school. What are we doing here? They don't even care because they don't care about their own health. You think they give a damn about their kids' health? And like I said, you're a grown man. Jaylen Brown, you're a grown man. And you're that worried and that concerned about your hair that you're spray painting it on? And then I said what made it even more cringe and funny to me was that you called LeBron James up. You made a video about this. You called up LeBron James. And then you left a message. Yo, King, call me back. Yo, he called the dude the King, man. He said, yo, King, call me back, man. It's your boy. What the hell? You called this dude King? And you called him about what to do with your hair. Does LeBron James look like he knows what to do with his damn hair? LeBron James is wearing do-rags at 40 years old with no hair. LeBron James in a post-game press conference in the locker room brushing his hair when there's no freaking hair. I mean, my goodness, who does this stuff? Just let it go, man. It's okay. No one gives a damn about you being bald. Who really cares about you being bald, man? Like I said, you worry about women and stuff like that? Okay, if a woman don't want to date you or get with you because you're bald, or a woman don't want to date you because you're too short for her, then screw that lady, man. Who cares about these women, man, like that? That's on her. These women are weird sometimes. They look for men or they look for qualities in men that are not going to help you find a good man. I want someone who's over 6 feet tall. That's one of the dumbest criteria I've ever heard in my life. And then they'll turn around and say, yeah, well, men want a woman with breasts and booty and this and that. What kind of man is that? What kind of man you looking at? Men are just as weird, too, as women, man. Vanity, really weird stuff. Some women ain't only going to date a dude if he drives a nice car. Like, are you kidding me? So he'll be a murderer, but drives a nice car. You know, it's funny. Oh, I'm only going to date a guy with a certain credit score. So let me get this straight. He could be a rapist, a murderer, an armed robber, a straight drug dealer, a dirtbag of society, but his credit score is 750. So, hey, I'm going to give it a go. Weird stuff. You got women in relationships getting beat every night, getting beat by a dirtbag dude, but he's a millionaire. But he got a full head of hair. But he's 6'2". Come on, man. What are we doing here? This is weird stuff. That's how you decide who you're going to be with for the rest of your life? My God, man. I did not pick my wife based off credit score. Me and my wife's credit is jacked up. We both jacked up in the credit. If she was picking a dude based off credit score, I would have never met my wife like that. You know how we were introduced, me and my wife? We were introduced because we had a similar background. One of the guys that I used to work with in the jail, he knew about my background, my mother being Italian white, my father being black, right? Black and white. He knew this, my wife. He knew her, and he introduced us because he said, hey, you guys are both the same, black and white. She's black and white just like you, Robin. That's what he said to me. And me and my wife sat down at the table. This is in a bar that we got introduced. We sat down at a table, and I was there with one of my best friends. And we sat down, and we proceeded to talk for hours, guys. We didn't drink. We just sat there and talked for hours. That's how I knew it was something special right there. Because when you have that rapport with someone the first time you meet them, it wasn't awkward. It wasn't like those weird pauses, that awkward silence. It was natural for me and her. And we just talked and talked and talked. And talked and talked. And that's how it started, guys. But I didn't meet her because my friend was like, yo, man, this girl, she had the fat booty. Yo, look at this chick, man. We introduced because of our backgrounds were similar. And that's how we kicked it off. It wasn't like, yo, this dude right here got money. You should get with this dude. Yo, this guy right here, his credit score is like 800. Yo, this guy's making all this money. You should get with this guy. Yo, you see this guy's car? His car is fresh. So weird stuff out here, man. But anyway, back to the point at hand here. Jaylen Brown, you look like a straight clown, dude. You're spray painting your hair on, and then you call LeBron James for tips and tricks of what to do with your hair? Dude, just save it off. Or, like I said, you have the money and the means. Go get the damn surgery. Go do something legit. I would never do this. I never would. But you have the money to do. You have the means to do. You're a professional athlete, guys. Like I said, these guys are very insecure. That's what I've noticed with a lot of these quote-unquote grown men today. Very insecure. Grown men, grown-ups are not supposed to be so insecure, man. I get it. We all have insecurities. Absolutely. They're all things that we, oh, I wish this, or I wish that. Absolutely, man. Maybe you don't like something about yourself. We've all been there. But you can't live your life that way. You can't be always worried about what other people are thinking about you or your physical appearance all the time. It can't be the only thing that you're concerned about. But at the same time, people don't take care of themselves. Like I said, we're more worried about our hair than our health. People don't exercise. They don't move around. And that's why they look like hell. They continue to destroy themselves. So Jaylen Brown, please stop spraying your hair on, man. Weird stuff. Like I said, he's wiping his hair off on people's jerseys in the middle of games. These are the guys that we got in the NBA today, guys. Guys that, like I said, more concerned about their clothing that they wear to the games. I tell you, they're more worried about their outfits that they wear to the games than the actual game plan of the game. They're more worried about what they look like. Oh, I got to make sure I look good. I got my stuff right. Dude, you look like a clown. You look like a weirdo. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.